do you know about your skull, or your dog's skull, or that of a sea lion washed up on the beach? Probably not as much as Ray Bandar, aka Dr. Bones. Welcome to our studio. I'm glad that you could join us here today, Ray, and bring so many beautiful skulls here. Now, the video footage that we were watching there, I believe, is from a documentary made about you by Beth Cataldo, who is an instructor here at CCSF. And that took place at an exhibit?
Yes, at the California Academy of Sciences when it was in Golden Gate Park.
Oh, okay, so the old building there.
Right.
Great. And were all of the bones in that exhibit yours?
Well, all the bones on the sea lion wall, 960, they were all mine.
Wow.
And we had about 1,800 or so skulls in the entire exhibit, and about 1,500 of them came from my home.
Oh my goodness.
And the others I borrowed to fill in gaps, if the skulls were bigger or better, or I didn't have that species represented.
So that entire wall was sea lions?
Yes.
Wow.
Except at the very end where I removed 10 and replaced it with 10 other skulls, and one of them was a baby walrus. And the name of the game is, Where's Walrus? And so the people had to look over them and see if they can find out which skulls were different.
Oh,
and then
that's
read the
fun.
labels down below.
That's fun. That's fun. That's a great way to get people involved.
Yes.
Now you teach science in a high school?
No, I taught science, biology, anatomy, and physiology for 32 years at Fremont High in East Oakland.
Okay.
But I retired in 1990, and this gives me more free time. So I'm on call 7 days a week to go up and down the coast and in the bay and check out the dead marine mammals that wash up. Dolphins and porpoises, sea turtles, seals, and sea lions.
Wow. So where did this all begin? What was your first skull?
Well, I used to hang out at Kelly's Cove at Ocean Beach in San Francisco, body surfing when I was a teenager. And in 1953, a seal washed up, and I don't know what got into me. I just went over there and cut off its head, and that was the beginning. And later that summer, I got a young sea lion at the Ocean Beach also. So from 1953, I've been decapitating dead animals.
Wow. So now that the Academy of Science is in transition, where do you store all of these thousands
Well, all the
of
stuff
skulls?
is stored at my home, and that's where my lab is, where I'm trying to process things at home, and it's very difficult.
Wow.
Fortunately, the neighbors don't get the smells, and they don't get the flies, the way my deck is situated, and I do a lot of work at night, and mighty cold, but I have specimens on the deck rotting away, maggots working on them, and freezers full of dolphin and porpoise skulls that I can't use the maggots on because the teeth will fall out.
Freezers full. Where do you store your meat? You're married, right?
Well, my wife put her foot down, and so the government bought me a freezer that I put down in the garage there, and a 5-foot upright freezer, and it's already filled with skulls waiting till I get a lab back at the new academy in 2008.
Oh, great.
In the meantime,
That'll be
things
exciting.
that don't have to be frozen, the seals and sea lions, I'm working on out on the deck.
Wonderful. Well, you've brought a lot of stuff here, and I know that you can tell us so much about a skull. So what have we got here?
Okay, now, when people come into my home, this sits on the floor in the front room, and so does this. What's the largest animal that breeds right here in San Francisco County? And here it is. This guy. He weighs up to 4,000 pounds. He was 14 feet long, and they thought they were extinct by the turn of the 20th century. It's an elephant seal male.
Ah.
Why do you collect so many of the same species, I'm always asked? Well, here's an adult female about the same age. Look at the difference, the diversity. And the government's especially interested, why are these animals dying? Well, this one, she was shot up at Point Reyes.
Wow.
And so some of the animals I get that have been killed by human interaction, boat collisions in San Francisco Bay, where a harbor seal had its ribs crushed and his abdominal thoracic cavities filled with blood. It was a 230-pound male harbor seal that washed up just by Crissy Field in the Presidio. And I got another harbor seal down in Alameda that had broke propeller slashes across the hind end. I get a lot of net drowning animals, porpoises and seabirds and seals and sea lions that have been drowned in fish nets.
Now, do you have an example of that here with us
Well,
today?
I have it down in another box,
Okay.
but I'll show you something else
Okay.
regarding. Now, this one washed up in San Francisco at Fort Funston. This is
That's
a
a
skull
turtle, huh?
from the largest sea turtles. This is a leatherback sea turtle. And over the years, I've examined 4 of these on San Francisco beaches. And 3 of them were killed by propeller slashes from big ships.
And how can you tell that? Can you tell it by the skull?
No, you can tell by the big propeller slash across its shell, the carapace.
Okay.
And one of those that washed up by Sutro bass, the propeller did slash right through the back of the neck and cut off part of the skull there.
Wonderful.
And this washed up on a Sunday full of tourists down at
Oh, my
Sutro Bass Beach.
Wow. So it looks like we have time to talk about just one more.
Okay.
What have you got over there? Porpoises?
Oh, okay. Yeah, this is good. Now, people don't realize that in San Francisco Bay, we also have some dolphins. This is an ocean-going dolphin that washed up over in by Martin Luther King Beachway in Oakland. It's an ocean-going dolphin. It was feeding in the bay. Its stomach was full of bay croaker. Here's a dolphin. Check out all those neat teeth.
Neat. Wow.
And
Boy, they're pretty sharp.
and I hang out at the beach a lot, sunbathing, and I don't do any body surfing anymore.
No.
But here's the largest dolphins that have been swimming around our bay, and I've been seeing them every month swimming up and down Ocean Beach, a bottlenose dolphin. This one was just over 10 feet long,
Tremendous.
and this one washed up dead at down in Pacifica. But we've seen them, and they've also come in as far into the bay as Crissy Field.
Wow. Those are amazing. This is incredible. So what advice would you give to young people out there who are interested in biology and skulls and bones? You've kind of found your own way. What might you say to the young people out there?
Well, just do as much reading as you can, and go to the natural history museums. The Oakland Museum is great. The Academy of Sciences is great.
Great.
And and get involved in conservation movements to protect endangered species.
Good idea. Yes.
Because we do have a lot of animals that are shot right here in the bay.
Okay.
Seals and sea lions, and also a sea otter washed up in San Francisco by Fort Funston that was shot.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to come out and bring in all of your wonderful, fascinating skulls. Now, you at home, if you're interested in finding out more information, check out Beth Cataldo's documentary on Ray Bandar. You can go to her website at www.bethcataldo.com. Now, coming up next, are you dealing with stress and trying to find ways to deal with it? Well, yoga instructor Gail Stepanek will be here with maybe a few answers for you. Stay tuned.